Hello, welcome back to Tottenham Logic. Today, I want to talk about Dominic Solanke and what he will bring to Tottenham Hotspur. I also want to talk about a positive look at Dominic Solanke. I'm not disregarding all the negatives that people are coming out with. Like, first of all, he's nobody's first choice. I don't believe he was Tottenham's first choice. I'm not disregarding that he failed at Liverpool and Chelsea. I'm not disregarding that he's had one standout season. I'm not disregarding any of that. I just wanted to put a bit of a positive spin on how I think he will do next season and what he will bring to us. So before I get into that, please smash that like button if you think Dominic Solanke is a good signing and do we need more. So we are a data-driven club now. The club have come out and told us that, so it's something we need to obviously look at. A lot of the arguments are that he's only had one season where he scored lots of goals, which is very true. But there's other attributes to him that were also top of the list. So for headed goals, and this was the stats against other Premier League strikers. So headed goals, he was first. Offensive duels, he was first. Interceptions, he was first. Progressive passes, he was first. Passes into the penalty area, second. And goals, he was third with 19. This, comparing to all the other strikers, that is very, very good. He was also top for the pressing stats too. He's an intelligent presser, which means his pressing led to the most shots on goal as well, which is vital for this Postecoglou system. So what will he bring to us? First of all, he'll bring competition to Richarlison. Richarlison last season missed a lot of time through injury, and we did not have anybody but Son to cover for him. Son did a fantastic job filling in for him, but that led to people like Werner being on the left-hand side. With Solanke coming into the side, last season he played 38 Premier League games, so he wasn't injured at all. If he can continue in that vein, we will have an available striker for the whole season, which means they'll also let Sonny play out on the left and Johnson on the right for now. So he also brings relentless, clever pressing. And when I mean clever pressing, his pressing is not just random or reactive. His pressing is calculated. He knows where the ball's going to be passed to. He's very good at interceptions, and we'll come into that in a minute. But his desire to win the ball back is second to none in the Premier League, and that's proven again by the stats. His desire to play for Spurs is something else he will bring. So we could have got Ivan Toney in, but was his desire as high as Dominic Solanke's to be here? He could have been having his another eye on Arsenal going in for him, and maybe he was waiting for that. Maybe Ange Postecoglou's already had the conversation with Toney, and he didn't want him in because he wasn't. His desire wasn't Spurs; it was whoever's bigger than Brentford, and maybe that's not good enough. Arteta's already spoke to Ivan Toney as well, and he didn't want him. So, and Toney's still not been bought by anybody. So that speaks volumes, in my opinion. And maybe, it is important that we get players that want to be here. Sonny will now be played on the left. That's another thing Solanke will bring, like I mentioned a little bit earlier in the video. Sonny, in my opinion, is better out on the left where he can cut inside and score those fantastic goals from outside of the box. But he's also good at whipping the ball in. And if he's continually whipping the ball in and Solanke's in there, that's going to cause havoc for any defence. And you've got to remember Johnson on the right-hand side. How many times did he whip that ball across the box and no one was there? Even when Richarlison was playing sometimes, he wasn't getting on the end of it because he was too slow in reacting. So another thing he will bring is he's great in the air. So what that brings is I've heard a lot of other channels say we don't do high crosses into the box. So what's the point of his heading ability? But is that because Richarlison missed a lot of games and he was the only person that was good in the air? So who are we crossing it to? With Richarlison on the bench, or if he starts and you've got Solanke on there too, maybe we will start crossing higher into the box. Because remember, Richarlison has scored a couple of headers last season from high crosses. He used to thrive on Perisic's crosses into the box, because Perisic used to do a perfect cross into the box. It was a shame he got injured last season, to be honest. So I feel that if we wanted to change things up, we could with Dominic Solanke. So that would again improve us as a team. More defensive cover, and that's something not many people have covered on, is we were poor at set plays last season. Dominic Solanke is very, very good in the air. So if need be, he could come back and fill out defensive issues. And now, obviously, with people like Dragushin as well, who is also good in the air. And if Van der Ven improves aerially, Romero is not bad in the air, but he's just not the tallest player. Archie Gray's pretty good in the air. So hopefully, with Dominic Solanke's present as well, he's 6'2", that will aid to even defensive cover as well. I know we ain't brought him in for that, but I'm just saying it's an extra thing like Harry Kane used to do for us as well. Ange Postecoglou wants Solanke. Solanke wants to be at Spurs. We keep saying we need to back the manager, but when he brings a player in, we moan about the player he brings in. So let's just back the manager. If he wants him, then I'm sure he'll fit in the system and he'll do well. He's already proved that the players that he's brought in have done well. They slipped off at the end of last season, but I'm sure they'll come back stronger this season for it. He's basically a Spurs player now, Dominic Solanke. So let's just get behind him. It's not his fault we spent 65 million on him. It's not his fault that he wasn't our first choice. But if you think about it, if we go into the first 5-6 games and he's already got 5-6 goals, then no one's going to care how much he cost, and no one's going to care where he came from, who he used to play for, or if he only had one decent season, because he will start proving people wrong. Obviously, if he doesn't have a good start to the season, that doesn't mean we need to jump on his back straight away. We need to judge this transfer at the end of this season coming. So we need to give him a season and then judge him and see if that was a good signing. To say he's a bad signing already before he's even kicked a ball is ridiculous, in my opinion, because you've got people doing the data on strikers. You've got scouts watching him. You've got Ange accepting who he is. We've paid a lot of money for him. I do not think we will do all of that just to bring in a poor player. I'm sure they think that he will do well in this system. Sometimes you don't have to bring in an Osherman to improve your squad. Sometimes you just have to get the extra cog to fit the machine so all the other cogs can... I know what I'm talking about anyway. I hope that makes sense. But at the end of the day, we've got a number 9 now. When we needed an attacking midfielder, we got James Maddison in. When we needed a left-sided centre-back, we got Van der Ven in. When we needed a goalie, we got Vicario in. Now, when we needed a striker, we got Dominic Solanke in. So please don't tell me that Levy's not backing this manager. Anything he's wanted so far, he's given him. And if it weren't for so many injuries to key players last season, I'm sure we would have got more points than we did last season. And with the additions of Gray, Bergvall, and I think Spence is going to be quality this season as well. If Spence can stay and earn a place in the squad as well, that's 4 players now that wasn't here last season. That's going to improve our squad going forward. So I really think Dominic Solanke is a part of the puzzle, but I still think we need a couple more. And if we do get that couple more, I think we should be positive that next season's going to be okay. Let me know in the comments what you think about this signing, and I'll see you on the next one. Come on, you Spurs.